We are here in the year of our Lord and Savior 1991, back when Nirvana was playing music and Gerald Ford was in office. So let's be real here. I wasn't alive in 1991. Anybody who was alive in the year 1991 is officially old. But we are rebuilding the Utah Jazz, probably the most competitive team to a Michael Jordan that he's ever had in his career. They pushed him, 6 games or 5 games twice, and ultimately Michael Jordan prevailed. But what we're going to be doing is rebuilding the Utah Jazz starting in 1991 and hopefully upsetting the GOAT, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Of course, with KARL Malone, who's probably one of the most hated men in America and probably should be as well. We won't talk too much about his indiscretions. And John Stockton, less of the illegal, more of the immoral, if you will, but a great point guard in his own right, the assist king. Go look at the all-time assist stats. Nobody is going to top Jonathan Stockton. Then you have we'll call it fall off. Jeff Malone, Thurl Bailey, Blue Edwards, Mark Eaton is okay, Mike Brown, Eric Murdoch, Isaac Austin, Corey Crowder, Andy Toulson is in fact a tool, Daquan Porter, and Ivan Frey. Ivan Frey, where are you from? Serbia. And lastly, James Noel to round out this roster. Don't know too much about them other than the stars. I know more about their roster when they were in the championships. You know, Greg Ostertag, Jeff Hornacek was a major player on that team. Forgetting some of the other names because I'm a Michael Jordan fan, not a Utah Jazz fan. Sorry, Jazz fan. I don't even know why the Jazz are in Utah. The Jazz should be in New Orleans. They should be the Utah polygamists. Anyway, we'll just simulate through the first season, starting with this 9-man rotation. Gonna look something like this with the head coach, Jerry Sloan. I don't know if he's an all-time great head coach, but he was a really good one in his day. John Stockton, Jeff Malone, Blue Edwards, KARL the Mailman Malone, and Mark Eaton at the 5. Coming off the bench, Thurl Bailey, Mark Brown, Isaac Austin, and Eric Murdoch. Looking at the pre-season power rankings, and I think we're about a few years away, but they have us as second in 2K Sports, and Eric Boner actually has us first. Ring the bells, Eric Boner likes the Utah Jazz. And here we are at the All-Star break. Because they don't have All-Star voting yet, it's 1992. We have to actually go through this boring screen and just read names like it's a list, which is fun. But you have Michael Jordan leading the East and Clyde Drexler leading the Western All-Stars. As for the East, you got Mark Price, Patrick Ewing, Larry Bird, and Dominique Wilkins. And then presumably off the bench is Isaiah Thomas playing alongside Michael Jordan. Whoa. Michael Adams, Scottie Pippen, Brad Dougherty, Detlef Schrempf, Kevin Willis, Hersey Hawkins leading them. As for the West, you have, of course, our guys, John Stockton, KARL Malone, David Robinson, James Worthy, and then I presume coming off the bench is Magic Johnson, 32 years old at this point. Jeff Hornacek, the future Utah Jazz, Hakeem, the Dream Olajuwon, Chris Mullin, Otis Thorpe, Danny Manning, Kevin Johnson. As for us, we're having a pretty good season. Not great, not terrible. We're 39-10, first in the West, but you got the Portland Trail Blazers right behind us. Could I have mumbled that word even worse? I think it's just because Clyde is so good. They're comparable to us because we have 2 90s on our team. They have 1, and yet they're playing great. The Lakers, this is kind of where they start to fall off. Magic gets up there in age. Kareem, I think, is retired at this point. They tried to fill that void with the Vlade Divac. That just wasn't it. James Worthy, how old is he at this point? 30. And this was back when players didn't really take good care of themselves. And then the Phoenix Suns, I guess, would be our future competition. But 2K did not license Charles Barkley. So we'll see what we do with that. As for us, we are 39-10, having a pretty good season currently. The league leader in scoring is Michael Jeffrey Jordan, 32 points per game at 28 years old, just hitting his peak, his prime. He is the best player in the NBA, hands down. Rebounds is, wow, Dennis Rodman, 18 for him, and assist is our man, Jonathan Stockton. Steals is Michael Williams. Blocks is Patrick Ewing, and field goal percentages as Red J. Lewis. 3-point champion is Dale Ellis. Free throw champion is Ricky Pierce. We're not going to make any moves. I'm fairly content with this team. I don't want to affect how this first season goes. And then after that, we'll start to go into a little bit of the fictional world of NBA 2K23. Make sure we do some fun scouting. We're not going to be going up to the #1 overall pick every single season, getting the best player, and then building a super team. I will, if necessary, trade up to like the #2 or the #3 pick. But for the most part, I'm going to try and get guys later on in the draft that we know is going to be good, somewhere around pick 6, 7, 8, and then go from there. Like, I'm not going to trade up for a Shaq, 84 overall, 19 years old, one of the best players in the history of basketball. But I would get an Alonzo Mourning, 83 overall, 22 years old, if he falls to pick 5. That just seems like a steal, right? Clyde Drexler wins MVP. Really good season for him. 26, 7, and 8 1 steal, 1 block, 60% field goal shooting, 39 from 3, 83 from the free throw line. Just an incredible year from him. How old is he at this point? Probably not someone we're going to target at 29 years old, but he is incredible. Larry Johnson, rookie of the year, 19 and 12 for him. Detlef Schrempf, 6th man of the year on the Pacers. David Robinson, defense player of the year, as Doug West wins most improved. Okay. Rick Adelman of, man, what team is he coach? Is he the Charlotte team? I only know him as the Kings head coach. Wins GM, nope, coach of the year. We win executive of the year, 63 and 19, 99 overalls across the board. We are 2nd in the conference and 2nd in power rankings, probably to the Portland Trailblazers. Karl Malone does make the All-NBA first team. 2nd team goes to John Stockton. Defensive teams, nobody. Rookies, I don't believe we have any rookies on the squad. If I did, they wouldn't win anything anyway. There is no play-in tournament. There is only the 2 seed, the Utah Jazz, taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. That's actually a really good one. So you got Magic versus John Stockton, Jeff Malone versus Tony Smith, Big Game James versus Blue Edwards, but then Karl Malone versus AC Green, Vlade versus Mark Eaton, and they have a pretty good bench. Sam Perkins, Byron Scott. Yeah, we might actually lose that, all things being equal. But we were 2nd, of course, to the Portland Trailblazers. Let's take a peek at these NBA league leaders. Scoring champion went to Michael Jordan, scoring a little bit down, but he's Mike, you know. Rebounds is Dennis Rodman, and assists is Jonathan Stockton. Steals is Michael Williams. Blocks is Patrick Ewing, and field goal percentages is Dominique Wilkins. Free throw champion is Mark Price, but the free throw champion, 3-point champion is our man, John Stockton. Really? 52%. Was not expecting that. We do need to win now and win fast, because you see the ages. John Stockton is 30. Let's see right here. John Stockton is 30. Karl Malone, 28. So right at that prime, they're not going to be getting any better than what they are currently. So unless we get this massive influx of youth on the team, this is a win now window for us. Rebounds, Karl Malone assist. How do we do from the 3-point line? 3-point line was underappreciated back in his time, but it was John Stockton, and then everybody else was bad. Team stats, how did we do? Offensively, we were 5th, not bad. Defensively, we were the 2nd best team in the NBA to the Chicago Bulls, giving us an 8.5 point differential. Number 2 with the NBA field goal percentages, we are 3rd. 3-point percentages, we are really bad. Doo-da. No one likes a 3-pointer. Da-da-doo-da-day. And free throw percentages, we're a little better. 12th. I'll take that. Definitely need some improvement. We're not the best team in the NBA, but we could be the best team in the NBA, taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. And let's just simulate through game 1 as we do pick up the dub on our home court. Wow. Karl Malone, 42 points on 23 shots, 13 rebounds. Jeff Malone, that's his name, right? Pretty good. And John Stockton gave us a 15, 5, 17, and 3 game. Unreal. As for the Lakers, Big Game James, 35 points in 35 minutes, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Sam Perkins was good. Magic was not ideal, 15, 6, and 12. Where does this rank compared to his stats? I guess it's a little down. He is, like I said, he's a little older. I don't know when or what point in the 90s he just completely had to step away, but not a good first game for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now we're up 2-0 and we're up 2-1, and we go up 3-1, and I just simulated through the round. Did not mean to, but we advanced. Nope, this was back when it was a 3-1 thing. I forgot. It goes 5-5-7-7, right? That was how the playoffs were back in the 90s. Taking on the Seattle Supersonics. Pretty good team. Gary Payton, 81 overall. How old is he at this point? 23? Oh, boy. He's going to be good for a long time. You got Sean Klump, 22 years old, 86 overall, 15 points a game for him. Michael Cage, Ricky Pierce. Another good team. I don't know if we're going to overcome them, but we do have 90s as we win game 1. Looking at the box score, Karl Malone had a great one, 24. Wow, we put in the reserves. That was how much we were winning by. Braylon Edwards, nope, that's a wide receiver. He used to play for the Jets. Blue Edwards gave us 20 points. John Stockton, 19 and 10. As for the Supersonics, Ricky Pierce gave him 29, 3 and 3. Michael Cage, 17 and 10. Really, Sean Kemp only gave him 9. Gary Payton gave you 5, 3, and 6. That's going to lose you a lot of games when Gary Payton only scores, 5 points. And here we are, 2 a game. Are we in game 5? Best of 5? Let's see. 2-0, 2-0. I can't tell. Can I hop into Simcast? Continue. Return to calendar. No, this is a 7-game series here. All right, good stuff. We're down 2-1. And back up to a 2-2 game. Big game 5 here as they go up 3-2. Earl Bailey was our highest scorer, 24-9. John Stockton and Karl Malone were okay. Like, our bench is terrible. That's the problem. And Ricky Pierce popped off 38 points. Wow. All right. Well, 3-2. And 3-3, it ain't 2K if it ain't Game 7. Here we are. Winner goes to the Western Conference Finals. Loser goes home. Who's going to win? And it looks like the Supersonics are going to win. Well, we got kind of a close one here. Oh, we take a little bit of a lead now going into the fourth quarter. We'll just continue the simulation a little bit slower. We have a 6-point. Look at this fourth quarter. They've fallen apart. We're doubling them up in points. Holy crap. Well, that's how you close out a big Game 7 there. KARL Malone went unreal. So did John Stockton. Our stars carried us. As for them, once again, Gary Payton, 2 points and 5 assists. That is unacceptable. But we are 1v2 on the West Coast and 1v2 on the East Coast. Interesting that Michael Jordan did not advance past the New York Knicks. I don't know does that say more about how good Michael Jordan was that he carried a team that should have been out in the second round to a three-peat? Or is that just that the 2K simulator is bad? You never know. Game 1, we actually win against Clyde. Had a pretty quiet game, 19-6-9, nice. 7 turnovers, not great. Terry Porter, right? 18-10 for him. Danny Ainge. As for us, Edwards gave us 23, John Stockton 22 for 18-5. Pretty good numbers. I didn't even look at their squad. They got Terry Porter, Clyde Drexler, Jerome Kersey, Buck Williams, Kevin Duckworth, Cliff Robinson. I think we can beat them. I say that, and it's 2-1. And it's 2-2, winners of the home courts, and now they are up 3-2, and we are eliminated. We win the first 2 and then fall 4 games in a row. The Cleveland Cavaliers, and Brad Daugherty wins NBA Finals MVP. Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe maybe we need to do a little fixing of 2K when these seasons are, because I think they're a little bit broken. Hall of Fame inductees is Moses Malone going to be retiring, and the jersey retirements is Moses Malone for the Philadelphia 76ers. Historical changes, we'll just go ahead and accept all of these. Leads meetings or any of these fun. Shot clock only resets when ball hits rim. I don't know what that means, so I'm just going to reject that. Change the fouls, no. Draft lottery, no. Fouls, no. Don't care. Bloop, 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 and beep. So we don't have any draft picks, but basically whoever gets number 1 here, which is projected to be the Magic, is going to get Shaquille O'Neal. And the 76ers. History of incredible big man, but the Magic fall to number 2. Timberwolves, Mavericks, Nuggets, and Kings round out the top 6. Staff signing, I'm good with Jerry Sloan for now. I think we're a small market team as well, so we won't be able to go out. Larry Brown is here. Ooh, I don't know about that. Look at the badges. Look at the badges, but then Larry Brown. I kind of want Larry Brown. We'll settle for the first season. We'll keep Jerry Sloan. We're a small market team. We have to build in-house. But looking at the draft class, the fastest man is Larry Chambers and Leroy Buford. Most agile is Larry Chambers and Leroy Buford. Highest vertical is Corey Payton and Dell Oliver. Highest bench press is Desmond Owens, Dell Oliver, and Jade Thomas. Best shot, three-pointer, Doug Christie. Not sure about that. Clarence Weatherspoon and Tony Bennett. And this is the point where players were sitting for multiple seasons in college basketball before they get drafted. So the usual ages of guys is like 21, 22. So it's simple as this. It's Shaquille O'Neal. It's Alonzo Mourning. If Alonzo falls to like pick 4, I will be trading up for him. But Shaquille O'Neal, we're definitely not going to be getting number 1 overall. And the Philadelphia 76ers are on the clock. They take Shaquille O'Neal, the big man out of LSU. Going to be incredible in simulation. Number 2 does go Alonzo Mourning. So instead of all that, I'm going to trade to like pick 10. We'll see what's available there. The Denver Nuggets have 2 first-round picks, so we're going to be trading with them. And just, I guess we'll watch the next few as well. Number 3 goes Jim Jackson out of Ohio State. Number 4 to the Mavericks goes Jimmy Richards. And number 5 to the Nuggets goes LaFonso Ellis. Never heard of him. 6'8" out of Notre Dame. As for us, who's available here? Tom Gugliotta might be a good pickup. D Knox, Latrell Sprewell is here. Doug Christie also here. Overalls are not where I want them to be though. Robert Horry is available. This is what I mean. There's a lot of good players that have potential to be pretty good. We'll be taking Daniel Grant. He's a backup power forward of the future behind KARL Malone. That's the best I can do for you. He's got good potential. Other than that, there wasn't a lot available. We could have gotten Tom Gugliotta. It's fine, but you see Shaq and Alonzo, 2 best players in the draft going 1 and 2. We will be signing Daniel Grant, who's only a 72 overall, going to take a while to develop. As for free agency, how we looking? Daquan Porter, no, you're not getting any money from us. I'm not going to be too active in free agency, like going after a guy named Larry Bird. That would just, first of all, be incredible, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. We're a small market team. Not a lot of players want to come to this team. A guy like Horace Grant Kevin McHale, I would certainly try to go after, but of course that doesn't fit the position because we already have a power forward. How are we looking right now? We got John Stockton. I'm fine with Eric Murdoch backing him up. Nobody at the 2. Blue Edwards is pretty good. Ooh, we have somebody the one guy who was pretty good for us. We need to re-sign. Jeff Malone, 31 years old. Not a fan of that, but we do need to bring him back for a couple seasons. Here's what I'm feeling. Thurl Bailey, 80 overall, 31 years old. He's just going to be sitting behind KARL Malone doing nothing. So we trade him away for Glenn Rice for a position in need. And then we have Blue Edwards, whose position he'd effectively take over. Blue's already undersized, only 6'4". And then, what else do I have to give? Ivan Fry, don't need that guy. Don't need Ivan on the team. And we'll send him KARL Malone too. That makes a lot of sense. So we've sapped our team. Send you this guy as well, James Noel, and I'll throw you maybe a couple seconds. Can we get Glenn Rice on the team? I feel like that'll improve us, put us over the top. No, they don't want to do that. Maybe we'll do a first-round pick next season. No, I can't do that. Do it the following season. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right, 2 first-round picks, but we got Glenn Rice, the sharpshooter, to be our small forward / shooting guard. 6'8" works for me. And then we need to go and re-sign our guy in free agency. I keep forgetting his name. Don't ask me why. Jeff Malone, unrestricted free agent, 31 years old, 84 overall. I'll give him a 3-year deal and 220, 225. That seems like a fair deal. 3 years. He's past his prime, and we could bring back Mike Brown as well. Why not? 3 years to be a backup center, whatever. We'll give you 5.5. Enjoy it. And who's going to re-sign with us? Everybody. Dacon Porter can walk. Boom, 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 boom. And let's take a quick peek at our roster now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can bring in Manute Bol. A little expensive at $1.35 million a year, but that'll work. And then Jason Williams as well. Just a little more depth, trading away some of our talent. So we still have 1, 2. Now we have 3, 4, 5. Jason Williams needs to go. Okay. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need somebody at the shooting guard or small forward position to come in out of, I guess, our mid-level exception, if that even exists at this point. And it doesn't look like there's a lot for us to choose from here. Kind of unfortunate. Maybe it's a position we look to upgrade at the midseason. Overalls are just horrible at this point. Is that really all I can give out? Yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Mike Harrison, 75 overall. Oof. Sure. We'll give you a contract. And then who's going to be starting for us? Wayne Gabriel, Billy Thompson, Alfonso Baines, Justin Vildoza, I guess. We'll give you 2 years. Nah, not great free agency from us. We re-signed some of our guys. It's going to be an improvement. We'll look to make that better at the midseason mark. As for free agency this year, Larry Bird going back to the Hawks. No, going back to the Celtics, 3 years, $15 million deal. Dominique Wilkins back in the Hawks for the rest of his career. Probably a 5-year deal, $25.9 million. Can you imagine that's what people used to make for the entirety of their career back in the day before it was the never broke again league? Brad Daugherty back on the Blazers. Was he on the Blazers, right? Yeah, I'm not crazy. No, that's right. He won NBA Finals MVP. The Blazers are making moves. Michael Adams to the Bullets, Horace Grant to the Bulls, Kevin McHale to the Celtics, Ronnie Cycli to the Heat, Paul Pierce, Ricky Pierce on the Supersonics, Jeff Malone back to us, and Scott Skiles on the Magic. Look at that hairline. Player progression. How are we looking? We're getting a little older. Jeff Malone, this is why I only signed him to a 3-year deal. He's just at that age of regression. Simple as that. Glenn Rice. Thought he would improve a little bit. I guess he's not. 84 overalls, as good as he gets. John Stockton, KARL Malone holding steady at their overalls. Whoever this guy was that we signed, that's bald. We're going to be trading him away. And then hopefully our young number 9 overall pick, number 10 overall pick does get better through the next few seasons. Looking at the preseason power rankings, the Utah Jazz, who made it to the Western Conference Finals but fell short, are number 1 for 2K Sports and Eric Boner. So maybe the Glenn Rice move will pay off. Otherwise, we're going to have to keep continuing to try to get this team better, rocking a 9-man rotation. John Stockton, Jeff Malone, Glenn Rice, the big free agent pickup for us. KARL Malone and Mike Brown. I guess that's good enough at the center position. We got Manute Bol backing him up, so that's fine. Eric Murdoch as the backup point guard. You got Mike Harrison. No. We'll have Daniel Grant and Justin Vildoza rounding out the edge of the bench. Preseason power rankings, we already looked at that. Are we going to make the playoffs this year? Who knows? And at the All-Star break is once again Team Michael Jordan and Team Clyde Drexler. For Michael Jordan is Isaiah Thomas, Patrick Ewing, Dominique Wilkins, Scottie Pippen, up to a 90 overall. Joe Dumars, Mark Price, Purvis Ellison, Larry Johnson, Larry Bird. Really, all the way down here. Only an 88 overall because of regression. Brutal. Look how angry he is. And Kevin Willis and Michael Adams. As for the West Coast, you got John Stockton and Karl Malone right behind them in the vote getting. You got David Robinson, big game, James Worthy, Magic Johnson holding steady at a 90 overall, Tim Hardaway, Hakeem Olajuwon, Sean Kemp, Chris Mullin, Brad Daugherty, and Michael Williams. We are once again a very okay team. Now, when the Portland Trail Blazers go out and sign the NBA Finals MVP in free agency, it's going to be a bit of a problem. So they are going to be our rivals for sure. They got a good team. We got a good team. I feel like we're about a season or two away of good, smart free agent pickups to really put us over the top and say we're the best team in the NBA, period, hands down. But we're having a pretty good season. Looking at the league leader currently in scoring, it is Shaquille O'Neal in his rookie season. He's averaging 28 and 9 as a rookie. That's unreal. He's scoring more than Jordan is. Wow. Rebounds is once again Dennis Rodman, and assist is once again Jonathan Stockton. Steals is Joe Dumars. Blocks is Alonzo Mourning. Field goal percentages is Karl Malone. Free throw champion is Scott Skiles, and three-point champion is Larry Bird. Even at 36 years old, Larry is still a legend. Oh, that's right. We need to make a move at the edge of the bench, get a little bit better there, and then we'll see. Nope, trade deadline is passed. I can't do anything because I'm an idiot. Let's just go to the playoffs. Clyde Drexler winning back-to-back MVPs. Another great season from him. 23, 7, and 8, 59, 84, 36. Shaq wins Rookie of the Year. Double-double. 28 and 10 as a rookie. As a, 21-year-old? Oh, I'm sweating. Terrell Brandon is Sixth Man of the Year. David Robinson, Defensive Player of the Year. Eric Murdoch, Most Improved. And Rick Adelman once again wins Coach of the Year as we win Executive of the Year. Why? I do not know, because we are not the best team in the NBA. All-NBA first team, though, is Karl Malone, 96 overall. John Stockton, 94 overall on the All-NBA second team. Nobody on the third team. Ooh, John Stockton makes the All-Defense first team. Nice to see. And the rookies, does our guy make it? Is Daniel something or another? He does not. Unfortunate. We're once again the 2 seed because the Blazers are unstoppable, but they didn't win a championship, but they did sign the championship finals MVP. Shaq led the league in scoring in his rookie year. Oh boy. Rebounds is Dennis Rodman, and assist is John Stockton. Steals is Michael Jordan. Blocks is Alonzo Mourning. Field goal percentages is Karl Malone. Free throw champion is Mark Price, and three-point champion is Del Curry. And I wish we traded for him, to be completely honest. But player stats, we did pretty good in our own right. Scoring led by Karl Malone, the mailman. Jeff Malone second. He's been really surprisingly good for us. Gonna have to trade him in this offseason because he's gonna regress probably to 78, maybe 77 even. Glenn Rice has been a good pickup for us, so we almost have 3 20-point per game scores, and then John Stockton to passing to everybody. The backup point guard, Eric Murdoch. Don't know who you are, but you are pretty good for us. 11 and 7 off of the bench. Not bad. How did our 3-point scoring look? Boom, boom. Glenn Rice, 45%. Eric Murdoch, 28. Oof. John Stockton, 38. And Justin Vildoza, 41. Yeah, I mean, we shoot like 2 threes a game. That was just the way the old school NBA worked. Points per game, we were second. Defensively, we were second. Give us an 8.8 point differential. Second. Are you noticing a theme here? But we were first in field goal percentages. I'm sure 3-point percentages, we were 7th. That's honestly not too bad. And free throw percentages, we were tied for 7th with everybody at 777. Good luck taking on the Phoenix Suns without a Charles Barkley. They got Kevin Johnson, Jeff Hornacek, Dan Marjoley, Tom Chambers, Mark West. I think we could beat them, but you never know. First round is oh my God, we're losing game 1. Glenn Rice came to play, 36, 4 and 4. Jeff Malone came to play, but Karl Malone did not. Neither did John Stockton. Okay, Jeff Hornacek, Dan Marshall, they just had a really balanced game 1. We need to win this one, and we do, in fact, tie the series up at 1-1. Now up 2-1, and bam, 3-1. Now to take on, once again, the Seattle Supersonics. Gary Payton did horrible last time we played, but he's a little bit better in the overalls department. The rest of their team is fine. First game, did not mean to press that button. First game, and we lose again. Karl Malone was good, 29 and 11. Glenn Rice gave us 19. John Stockton, 14 and 10. Not great. Jeff Malone, not good. 12 points in 31 minutes. As for them, Ricky Pierce was good, 24 for him. Eddie Johnson, right? Yeah, 24 for him. Sean Klump gave him 19 and 8. And Gary Payton, 4 and 15. Weird stats, as always, for Gareth Payton. But we do tie the series up at 1-1. Go up 2-1. Tied at 2-2. We're going to 7 games again, aren't we? Yep, it ain't 2K if it ain't Game 7. 7-game series, as always, with the Seattle Supersonics here on our home court. Win this, we go back to the Western Conference Finals, and we are winning heavily, handily in the first half. Going into the fourth quarter, we have about a 20-point lead. I think there's too little too late, even if they wanted to mount a comeback. There's no three-pointers back in the day, and they are going to fall short. 116-95. Jeff Malone was great. Karl Malone was great. Glenn Rice was great. John Stockton, 20 assists. You know what? That'll win it all. And we're taking on the Lakers, who we actually beat last time. Magic Johnson, James Worthy regressing a little bit. Vlade Divac's getting a little better. I think we have a chance to go to the finals here, as we do lose game 1. Well, Glenn Rice was pretty good, 25-9. Karl Malone, 21. John Stockton, 16-14. Jeff Malone, 16. How did we lose? We just didn't play enough defense. We lost by 1 point. Big game, James, 18-7. Vlade, 17. Jeff, no, who is this? Terry Teagle, gave him 16. Okay, Magic gave you 4, 5, and 13. Weird game. We probably should have won that, but now we're down 2-0. Desperation calls. We're down 2-1, 2-2. Now it's a series. We're up 3-2, and hey, we advance to the finals to take on the Hornets, who we stole Glenn Rice from, right? Do they have our old friends? Or did Glenn Rice play in another team? Hold on. Am I dumb? Nah, Glenn Rice was on Miami. He's a Hornet though, right? He's an all-time Hornet player. Anyways, they have a young Doc Rivers here. Nope, they have an old Doc Rivers here. Kendall Gill, Larry Johnson's going to be a good matchup. We have a chance of winning this, man. Del Curry coming off the bench. Muggsy Bogues. We have a legitimate chance of winning a championship here as we lose game 1. I need to stop getting hyped. Every time I get hyped, we lose, and we lose bad. Glenn Rice gave us 27. Karl Malone, 19-8. Jeff Malone, 17. Murdoch was better than John Stockton. What are you going to do with that? And this guy, Kendall Gill, popped off for 30 points. Del Curry was good. Larry Johnson played 41 minutes, gave you a 17, 15, 9 stat line. Okay, 1-1. Down 2-1. We start the series off losing every single time, and here we are up 3-2. The Utah Jazz have a chance to win a championship in a probably unexpected season here. Up 3-2 in Charlotte. We win this, we win the chip, we lose, we're going to a game 7. Have a really back and forth game here. Actually high scoring for the 90s. 100, 103, 105. If there's a few minutes left, I'll hop in. I don't know if we're going to win. Looks like we're going to be losing this one. 3-point game, 2 minutes left. 5-point game, 3-point game, 1-point game, 3-point game. Is it? We're going to lose. 4-point game. Yeah, we lost 115, 121. All right, game 7 of the NBA Finals. You live for these moments. You need our big guys to step up. You need our little guys to not play so little. We're winning throughout the first 3 quarters. Going into the fourth quarter, we have about a 10-point lead. A 10-point lead in the old school 90s basketball was insurmountable. It doesn't look like the Hornets have anything left in the tank. They fought their tails off in game 6, but the Utah Jazz are going to be walking away champions. Ooh. Game 7. Should we hop in to watch the ceremony, or should we try to win more than one? I think we go for more than one. The Utah Jazz are NBA champions. John Stockton, NBA Finals MVP. I bet you every single Utah Jazz fan dreamt of this moment. 14 points, 13 assists, 50 from the field, 60 from the three-point line, and 2.4 steals a game. Anybody can win one in a row. Can you win 2? Noticeably absent is one Michael Jordan. Keith Vandeweghe, Robert Parrish, Mo Cheeks, Kurt Rambis. A lot of good names here in the retirees. Staff retiring is Lucas Fleury. Hall of Fame inductees is Robert Parrish, and jersey retirements Robert Parrish, Walter Davison, Bill Laimbeer. Historical changes, nothing noticeable, just logo changes. That's fine. League meetings, are any of these fun? 5 in the key instead of 3 in the key. I'm fine with that. I've kind of been championing that the NBA should just remove the defensive 3 seconds call completely, because I feel like it hurts defenses more. And these days we need to help defenses more than we need to hurt them. And I saw somebody won the draft lottery. It was the Timberwolves, right? Staff signing, head coach Jerry Sloan is an NBA champion, so we're not going to be making any changes there. On to the draft. Best man of the class is Daryl Griffith and Anthony Ramsey. Most agile is Jeremy Reed and Franklin Longley and Daryl Griffin. Highest vertical is Jeremy Reed and Vin Oakley and Oliver Caldwell. Highest bench press, Tom Jeffries and Judd Williams. Best shot three-pointer, Brian Russell, the future Utah Jazz, and James Robinson. Utah Jazzanite? How do you say the future Jazzonian? This draft is, I believe, the Penny Hardaway draft, right? Yes, sir. Not great in the overalls department. I think he's kind of underappreciated, all things being equal. And not a great draft class either. Maybe we'll trade to like pick 15, pick 20. There's some guys that I did like here. Nick Van Exel, Sam Cancel, Luke Shays. I'll tell you who I want looking at the draft. I want Penny, obviously, but Marcus Owens, another power forward, ironically. 75 overall, Hall of Fame ceiling potential. C+, nope, A potential, 75 overall. I'm just repeating myself. 14 points, 12 rebounds. Doesn't shoot the three well, but he looks to be really good. If he falls to pick, I'll say pick 3. Penny would go 1. If Jamal Mashburn goes 2, then we'll trade up to pick 3 and pick up a young Marcus Owens out of Butler. Number 1 overall to the Minnesota Timberwolves goes Penny Hardaway, 6'7" point guard. That size is tough to deal with. Number 2 to the Mavericks goes Jamal Mashburn, which means we're trading up to pick 3. How are we going to make this work? No idea, but that is the the New Jersey Nets. Look at this logo. Back when they had color in NBA logos. And it takes Jeff Malone having to go, but we only traded up to pick number 4 because unfortunately the New Jersey Nets have absolutely no money. Why? I don't know. Who's on their team right now? Probably Dr. J. That would explain it. So we have pick 4. I need to do a 4-for-3 swap. They want 1 second to do that. I will certainly take that. And we are taking the future Hall of Famer, Marcus Owens. Is he going to develop? Who knows? Where is he supposed to go pick-wise? Boom, boom, boom. 75 overall, but 20 years old. Marcus Owens going to be great for us. Taking at pick number 3. Now the Nets are picking at Bo Stevenson, number 4 out of Gonzaga. And 5 to the Magic goes Vin Baker. Not a bad pickup. Again, we are going all in on not the overalls department, but the age and possible future development. Nick Van Exel goes 7th. Allen Houston, thought about picking him up, goes 9th. Rookie signing, boom, boom, boom. So we do now have a hole at the other forward position. We picked up Glenn Rice, but we had to trade away, the other Malone, to make sure, first of all, regression's going to hit him hard, and then we had to make sure that we get the future Hall of Famer on our side. Can he play the 3? He has no three-point game whatsoever, so no, he can't play the 3. Can John Stockton play the 3? I effectively have traded for 2 power forwards who aren't going to get any time. That's frustrating. I tell you what, we're going to rock a 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 power forwards and 1 center lineup. So we'll be trading away Mike Brown and just start Manute Bol, who is younger, better, faster, stronger. And then we'll do a Karl Malone, Marcus Owens, Daniel Grant, Manute Bol, sort of big man lineup. And then we just need to get a lot better at the guard position. Eric Murdoch appears to be the perfect backup point guard. Holy crap. Glenn Rice, great pickup for us. Justin Vildoza will work. He's fine. I would like to get better. So we need a shooting guard. We need 1 shooting guard, possibly some depth at the wing position. Who is available? What kind of money do we have? We have absolutely no money available to us, which is not ideal. So we're going to have to get a little creative here. David Robinson is available in free agency. So is an aging Isaiah Thomas, Sean Kemp. That could be fun. Who's this? Hersey Hawkins. I kind of want. We just don't have any way to make the money work. Look at our roster. Look at our salaries. We got Karl Malone, John Stock. The money is so small. Why can't I make this work? Manute Bol, like I said, he's earning kind of a lot of money. But Mike Brown and Jeff Vildoza, what can you get me at the shooting guard position? So we're going to pick up Stacey Augmon in a first. It's just a position of need. The first is fairly valuable as well. We're getting a little bit worse at the shooting guard position. I get it, but now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think there are mid-level exceptions available at this point in NBA free agency, so we're just going to have to go to the dumpster and pick up somebody else like Justin Archidiakno to be part of the wing depth that we need on this team. Unfortunately, at this point in the NBA, free agency was just not that fun. So here we have 3, basically the lowest tier of free agents that we could possibly pick up. Hersey Hawkins would have been great to pick him up, but the money is just not going to work. And I think every team, looks like from the free agent offers, are unable to make big free agent signings. Looking at the recap of free agency, David Robinson back on the Spurs. 4 years, $16 million for him. Isaiah Thomas going to finish out his career on the 76ers. 4-year deal for him. Michael Adams to the Bullets. Dennis Rodman back on the Pistons. Doesn't look like he's going to revitalize his career in Chicago. Sean Klump to the Suns. That's an interesting pickup. Kevin Willis back on the Hawks, I want to say. How does his career look at this point? Yep. Kevin Willis back on the Hawks. Grant Long to the Heat. Lionel Simmons to the Bullets. Vlade Divac to the Lakers. That's... yeah, okay. And Rolando Blackman to the Mavericks. Looking at player progression, we have Karl Malone up to a 95, John Stockton up to a 93. Glenn Rice, thought he'd develop a little more. He's just holding at this kind of 85-ish overall. We won a championship with him, so I don't hate it, but our depth has kind of fallen off as we traded for 2 super young rookies. Daniel Grant up to a 75 overall. Marcus Owens drafted at a 75 overall. How much better are they going to get? I don't know. Again, Marcus Owens supposedly has Hall of Fame ceiling potential. So we need to see if we can tap into that. And then the rest of the bench is pretty bad. So we're kind of sacrificing our depth for the future, which is weird because we're in a win now window. We'll see how this regular season pays out for us. I just haven't had the chance to get a lot of good players in the draft. Looking at this year's draft class, it's the Jason Kidd, Grant Hill draft class. That could be kind of fun. But other than that, what are we going to get? Danielle Marshall, Raymond Williams, Vin Parker, Jalen Rose. I mean, I don't want to score 81 points on myself. Looking at the 9-man rotation, it's going to look something like this. John Stockton, Stacey Augmon, down to a 76 overall. Not great, but Glenn Rice, KARL Malone, and Manute Bol will work. Coming off the bench is the great Eric Murdoch, Marcus Owens, Daniel Grant, and Winston Bennett. We'll give it to Justin Archidiakno. Does it really matter? No. But looking at the preseason power rankings, the defending NBA champion Utah Jazz are first for 2K Sports, first for Eric Bunner as well. Chicago Bulls firmly second. Michael Jordan starting to hit the age of regression, down to a 97 overall. The only team that I do fear is the Philadelphia 76ers and that monster in the center, an 89 overall in his second year, Shaquille O'Neal. Only 70s around him with Isaiah Thomas. Not a great matchup though. Michael Jordan wins an MVP, 29, 6, and 6. Vin Baker, Rookie of the Year. Eric Murdoch wins 6th Man of the Year. Our man, our Studley backup point guard, he's just been a revelation for us. David Robinson, Defensive Player of the Year. Terry Mills, Most Improved. Jerry Sloan finally gets recognition. 68 win season for the Utah Jazz. All NBA first team. We are the best team in the NBA, have the best record, win 68 games, and nobody makes the All NBA first team, really. Second team is KARL Malone, and I assume third team is Jonathan Stockton. All defensive first team is John Stockton, holding steady at a 94 overall. Nobody on the all defensive second team, nobody in the rookies. We have Marcus Owens, right? Top 5 pick. No respect. You know what? It's fine. You don't want to respect us. That is okay, 2K, because we are still great. Looking at the league leader, scoring champion went back to Michael Jordan. Shaquille O'Neal second. Rebounds is Dennis Rodman, and assist is Magic Johnson. Steals is John Stockton. Blocks is Patrick Ewing, and field goal percentages as KARL Malone, winning it back to back. Free throw champion is Dennis Scott, but the 3-point champion is our man John Stockton on 1-3 a game. It's just so wild to see how the old NBA was. As for us, scoring-wise, KARL Malone was great. Glenn Rice improved. He filled up the hole that Jeff Malone left. John Stockton's been good, 17 and 11. Stacey Augmon, surprisingly good for us. 15 points a night for him as the starting shooting guard. Eric Murdoch was great. And then the rookies, they're coming along. 77 overalls, respectively. Marcus Owens, looking for big things from you. Daniel Grant, hopefully you can be a backup. 3-point percentages, obviously not a big deal for us, but Glenn Rice, 41%. Justin Archidiakno, 37%. Eric Murdoch was bad. John Stockton, 58%. KARL Malone, 52% on 0.3 threes a game. That means every 3 games, he shoots a 3, and every 10 games, he would make one. It's just so wild to think about how different the NBA was back in the day. But the Hornets were the first team in the NBA offensively by a large margin, but we are second defensively. We are the best team in the NBA. Give us a 12.5 point differential, number 1 in the NBA. Field goal percentages, we are second. 3-point percentages, we are not bad. 5th. And free throw percentages, we are not great. Feels like we're getting worse. 23rd. But we are taking on the number 1 versus number 8 seed Golden State Warriors. Tim Hardaway Sr., Mitch Richmond, Chris Mullin. They got a good team. Victor Alexander, their bigs aren't that great. Sarunas Marcilionis is okay coming off the bench, as we do win game 1, taking care of business. John Stockton had a great one, 32, 2, 9, 5 steals. KARL Malone was good. Glenn Rice, not a great game, but we have solid bench support. And I'm actually going to take away Justin Archidiakno's minutes, maybe. Well, minutes is fine, you know what? And Shar Marcilionis was their high scorer off the bench. That's interesting. Game 2. We lose. Big one here. And we go up 2-1. Are we going to take a 3? Nope. It ain't 2K if it ain't Game 5. Hopping in. Simcast. We need to win this to not get 1-8'd embarrassingly in the first round of the 1994 playoffs after winning the NBA championship. This is what you expect. You'll love to see this low-scoring contest going into the fourth quarter. And we have about a 13-point lead here. Kind of thought we were going to blow it, but we do clamp them down. And we advance to take on the 5-seeded San Antonio Spurs, the Tim Duncan Spurs at this point. You got Terry Cummings. I love Cummings. Sean Elliott, Rod Strickland, David Robinson leading the way. It's really David Robinson and then other. Win game 1. KARL Malone, 21 and 10. Eric Murdoch, 17 and 6. John Stockton has been unreal. As for them, David Robinson was pretty quiet, 16 and 9. Nice. And the rest of the team was not very good. If that's how they're going to perform in simulation, we're just going to sweep. Simple as that. 3-0. and 4-0. Now to take on our rivals, the Portland Trailblazers. Terry Porter, Clyde Drexler, Jerome Kersey, Buck Williams, Brad Dougherty. Got a good one. We might be better. We beat them last time. They win game 1 here. John Stockton had a good one, 22, 4, and 14. But wow, scoring was high. Karl Malone, Stacey Augmon. Our team wasn't very good. Clyde was good. Terry Porter was good. Brad Dougherty was good. Jerome Kersey was good. They played better than we did. They are up 2-0. Are we gonna get swept? 2-2. Big game 5 here to take on the last time Eastern Conference champions Hornets, who we beat, and we are up 3-2. And it ain't 2K if it ain't game 7. Hopping in. Jazz have the home court advantage. Blazers looking to avenge their loss last season on the road. Back and forth game here going into halftime. They have a lead here into the third quarter. Not looking good for the Utah Jazz. If we lose this, it's going to be embarrassing, and we need to revamp and retool the roster. Down by 4. 10 minutes left. 9 minutes left. And they have a 12-point lead. It looks like it's going to be too little too late for your Utah Jazz. We need to retool the team because we fall in the Western Conference Finals 127-121. Disappointing. Maybe Jeff Malone was the key as Larry Johnson wins NBA Finals MVP. Kind of weird results, but I'm a little disappointed here. Mark Aguirre retiring, John Paxson. Staff retirements is Tyler Hughes, Lenny Wilkins. Hall of Fame inductees is Larry the Legend Bird, who is apparently a free agent this whole season. Obviously going to get his jersey retired because he is Larry Bleepin' Legend. Don't care about any of these rules. Not a big deal for us. League meetings, are any of these fun? No. Okay, good stuff. Do you want to extend the shot clock to 45 seconds? I don't. And the draft picks are going to be Bucks, Hawks, and Knicks. I think we have the Nuggets draft pick. I don't know how good or bad they are. This might be the season that we look to move on. Phil Jackson is here. I'm going to sign him. I got to sign Phil. I mean, look at these badges. I don't care what it takes. I will blow up my entire front office. I will trade away all these people. I'll even trade away Mike Stauffer if I have to. Phil Jackson is coming to the Utah Jazz, and we have just enough to offer him a max deal. We'll send one over to Mike Stauffer as well. He's mulling. He's mulling. Does that mean a no? I forget. It's been a while since we played 2K. I think he's got to accept it, right? It's blocked. What does that mean? You can't block. And now Mike Stauffer's gone? This is crap. Well, we'll deal with that when it comes to it in the future. As for the draft, the fastest man in the class is Joey Chapman and Douglas Toscano. Most agile is Monty Moody and Joey Chapman. Highest vertical is Herb Davis and Monty Moody and Will Ross, spelled with one L. That's unfortunate. And Stanley Simmons. Highest bench press is Jeffrey Valentine and Jesse Boner. Nice. And best shot three-pointer is Jalen Rose, Lamar Murray, and Aaron McKee. I remember Aaron McKee back on the 76ers. He was not great. As for this free agency, nope, for this draft class, it's the Jason Kidd, Grant Hill draft class. I would think about moving up for Grant Hill. I wouldn't hate blowing up the team to get Grant Hill to be our starting shooting guard, taking Stacey Augmon's place. He played well, don't get me wrong, but we get John Stockton, Grant Hill, Glenn Rice, Karl Malone, Manu Bull. That seems unbeatable. So if he falls to 2, I will be willing to make that trade. Number 1 to the Milwaukee Bucks goes Jason Kidd. Let's see if I can trade for the number 2 pick with the Hawks. Probably not, but hey. Oh my God, this game is so freaking broken. So I'm going to trade for the number 3 pick. I'll show you what happens if I try to trade for the number 2 pick. It's just, it's broken. It cannot be traded because it's involved in the previous trade. No, it's part of the draft, and I can't trade the number 19 pick either because that's broken too. So what I'm going to do is trade for the number 3 pick and then do a trade override and send over whoever we pick up with this 19th pick to the Atlanta Hawks and then pretend like that's how it works. 2K is just such a freaking broken game that it's beyond frustrating to play. And I can't even trade away multiple first round picks to get the number 4. Oh, 2K. All right, we got the number 3 pick. Oh my God, surprise. The Hawks go with Grant Hill with the number 2 pick. Imagine if we could have done something about that. Can I trade for Grant Hill? Who is this? Lionel Simmons? Gross. Get out of here. So I can trade for Grant Hill and the 19th overall pick in Trade Finder, but I can't trade for Grant Hill and the number 2 pick in a manual trade. There's some times when I'm so done with this terrible, awful game. It frustrates me. Anyway, Mahmoud Abdul Rauf is here. But I will be trading for Grant Hill because he is the person that we've been targeting this entire time, and he was the only one that I want on this team. Number 2, Grant Hill, officially the Utah Jazz. Number 3, the Hawks are taking Danielle Marshall. Number 4 goes Cole Starks, and number 5 goes Eddie Jones to the Mavericks. How did 2K work out here? Not great, but we have an 81 overall small forward. I'm going to drop him down to the shooting guard position. Grant Hill is the future of the Utah Jazz. Didn't have to trade either of the young rookies either. Qualifying offers, neither of these guys are good. Playoffs and free agency, we obviously have no money. How is the team looking now after we lost? So we have John Stockton. I don't know who Mark Roberson is. You can get off my team. We have John Stockton and Eric Murdoch. We have Grant Hill going to be playing the 2 guard for us. Actually, who's shorter? Grant Hill. I mean, Grant Hill's just amazing. Do I want Glenn Rice to play the 2? He's 6'8". Grant Hill's 6'8". Grant Hill's younger, so we can drop him down to the 2 guard. He loses an overall point. It is what it is. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Need some wing depth. We have our 2 backup power forwards behind KARL Malone. I don't know what we're going to do with there. Just kind of a mess. And then we have Manute at the center. So basically get one guy to play the wing position like a Rodney McCray. There we go. We're bringing in Vincent Askew and Buck Johnson. Oh boy, big free agency for us. But we did make a few moves, and I like that. Tim Hardaway Sr. going back to the Warriors. Mark Price back on the Cavaliers. Reggie Lewis to the Celtics. Michael Williams, Pacers. Nick Anderson back on the Magic, right? Yes, sir. Reggie Williams to the Bucks. Ron Harper to the Clippers. I think this is back to the Clippers as well. Yeah, he didn't go to the Bulls officially in this time. Like Mark Jackson to the Supersonics, Larry Nance Sr. Pistons, and Kevin Gamble on the Celtics. Player progression, big moment of truth for our backup power forwards. Are we going to keep them, or are they going to be moving probably next season? John Stockton regressing officially, 32 years old, down to a 92. Grant Hill regressing because we changed his position. So Manute Bol is a 79, really happy with his development. Marcus Owens, 76. Not tremendously happy. He's kind of looking like a bust. His potential has dropped from an A- to a B-, but Daniel Grant is holding at a 75, so he's not developing at all either. We may look to move on from our 3 power forward position maybe next season if we don't win a championship this one. As always, I have championship expectations for this team. We traded for Grant Hill. Injuries are off. We should be rocking and rolling. Looking at the 9-man rotation is going to look something like this. John Stockton, Grant Hill, Glenn Rice, KARL Malone, Manute Bol, Eric Murdoch, Marcus Owens, Daniel Grant, and Vincent Askew, I guess, coming off the bench for the preseason power rankings. We are second to the Bulls. Eric Bonus has his second as well. That's fair. They finally got Horace Grant. No, that's right. Horace didn't go to the Orlando Magic. I think we could win a championship this year. I really do. I'm trading away Manute Bol for Sean Bradley. I don't know why, but Manute Bol is not happy to be here. I can actually show you right here. Down 3 overalls. He's sluggish. He's triggered. He doesn't want to re-sign with us. Why? I don't know. He's the starting center, and he's literally the only center. I'm having a great time. We put together a great stretch here. I feel triggered with how things are being handled. Why is he upset? Because he's not getting any money. Well, you go and you say, all right, well, we'll go to the contract extensions. How about I give you a big fat offer? I refuse to resign. Well, then I can't do anything for you, Manute. Go screw yourself. You're going to get traded away. I'm going to be trading away Vincent Askew, who's played pretty well for us, but Manute Bol needs to go. We need a better starting center, and that is going to be the huge, massive human. Ooh, Craig Elo is here. Rick Fox is here. The massive human. Mike Brown, no. Is that Greg Anthony? I thought that was Greg Ostertag for a second. Anyway, I'm just spitballing till I find him. Sean Bradley, massive human being, 7'6", right? He's going to be the starting center for us, and then we need to get a little bit better at the wing depth. I was hoping to trade away Vincent Askew, but we'll trade away Buck Johnson and like a future first-round pick from us. That's never going to be any good. Or somebody's like a 75 overall shooting guard. Hey, we're doing a 3-team trade here. Mike Brown is a 77 overall. Let's see if Mike Brown wants to be picked up by any other team. Mike Brown here, now up to a 78 overall. Anybody want a 78 overall center? Tyrone Hill, but he's a power forward. Paul Graham looks to be exactly what we're looking for, 77 overall. So the new 9-man rotation after the trade deadline is John Stockton. Paul Graham is not starting over Grant Hill. I don't know who you are. Whoever our head coach is that decided to make this decision, you are an absolute dunce. Ooh, speaking of that, we need to fix the head coach too. Looking something like this. And Shaquille O'Neal wins MVP. Man, if we drafted him, 31 points, 13 rebounds, unreal. Jason Kidd, Rookie of the Year over our man Grant Williams. Did Grant have a chance? He was okay. I can't actually see his stats because these screens show point totals. Why? I don't know. Danielle Marshall, 6-man of the year. David Robinson, Defense Player of the Year yet again. Allen Houston, most improved, up to 19 points a game for the Cavs. Jerry Bradley wins Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, and Executive of the Year is some guy. All-NBA first team. KARL Malone on the All-NBA first team up to a 97 overall. Is he the highest overall player? No, Mike is. For the Jazz, no. John Stockton, all defensive first team, nobody. Second team, Karl Malone does make it, which is weird. All rookie first team, our man Grant Hill does make it. Not too bad if you ask me. We were the #1 seed yet again in the Western Conference, taking on the Utah Jazz. John Stockton is playing shooting guard, just like I predicted. Who in the actual picked this to be our lineup? Are you kidding me, game? Everybody's gassed, everybody's tired, which is great when you're going into a playoff run. I don't know why, but maybe it's just because we're a really old team. League leader in scoring went to MVP Shaquille O'Neal, 5 points up on Chris Mullin, the next best player. Rebounds is Shaquille O'Neal, and assist is Tim Hardaway. Steals is Michael Williams. Blocks is Hakeem Olajuwon, and field percentages is Sean Kemp. Free throw champion is Mark Price, and free throw champion is Joe Dumars. We did okay, not great, especially when I find out that John Stockton was playing shooting guard for us. That's why he only has 10 assists per game. Karl Malone was good. Grant Hill, unreal rookie season, 20 points. Glenn Rice, these two have been great for us. John Stockton and Karl Malone have been good. Our bench has been questionable at best, and Sean Bradley, really disappointing. 26 minutes, and he gives you a 5 and 7 stat line at 7'6", isn't gonna cut it. Team stats, we were offensively really bad because we had to trade out our head coach and it didn't work. 12th. Defensively, though, we were incredible, giving us a 7.9 point differential, second in the NBA. Field percentages, we are 10th. 3-point percentages, we're the worst. Are we the worst? I've been trying to get better at 3-point shooting, and we're the worst in the NBA. 15th. And free throw percentages, 79 isn't too bad. 5th, actually. I will take that. Let's see if whoever this is generic creative coach, we can get a better system proficiency up to 4 stars. We can. I want balanced. I don't know who you are, Lucas, but your name is Lucas. Lucas, taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. They have Patrick Gervin, Chris Robinson, Glenn Robinson, Danny Manning, and Rick Smits. We have to blow them out, right? Win game 1, just complete blowout. Right. They have like 280 overalls on their team. 1-1, 2-1. And 2-2, of course. Of course, we're going to a game 5, 1-8 in this supposedly championship season. Okay, give less minutes to Marcus Owens. I will try that. Here we are, going into halftime. Kind of closer of a game than you'd like. About 1-point game, back and forth game now into the fourth quarter. We're about to get 180 the first time probably in this young NBA's history. We are up by 6, up by 4, 3 minutes left, up by 10, and we finally hold out. A team that needs all the rest it can possibly get ends up going to 5 against the 8-seeded LA Clippers, and here we are taking on who? Our rivals, the Portland Trailblazers. Clyde is starting to regress. Brad Dougherty holding steady. They might have a better team than us. I do not know, but we do win game 1. Grant Hill, 42 points. Or the #2 pick, incredible. Karl Malone was good. Glenn Rice, Eric Murdoch, John Stockton, way down here, 2 and 8s, but he didn't need to score because we had Grant Hill, and we blew them out by like 25. Up 2-0, 2-1. And we got a 3-1 game here. Brad Dougherty was their highest scorer. Latrell Sprewell gave him 16. Clyde only gave you 11 points in 18 minutes. Was he in foul trouble? Yeah. That must be Grant Hill and Glenn Rice is doing. Great numbers from us. We are up 3-1 and 3-2. And we advance to the Western Conference Finals, taking on the Golden State Warriors. Tim Hardaway Sr., Chris Mullin, Victor Alexander. They don't have Chris Webber, so I ain't afraid of them. We win game 1. Karl Malone, 24-9. Glenn Rice, 20. Grant Hill, 18. Eric Murdoch is apparently better than John Stockton. I don't know what to tell you. Chris Mullin was their high score, 29 for him in 42 minutes. Tim Hardaway was okay, but that is about it. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we win. Are we going to sweep? Yes, sir. Taking on the Washington Bullets. I don't think we've seen them in the NBA Finals. They don't really have a good team. They have Michael Adams, 88 overall. Lionel Simmons, Tom Gugliotta, Purvis Ellison, and that's it. We got to win this, right? Game 1, we win. Grant Hill, 28 points for him. Grant Hill is going to be incredible. Yet, even if the rest of the team falls apart, Marcus Owens and Daniel Grant give us nothing, as they gave us 1 point combined. Grant Hill was the answer for this team. 1-1, up 2-1, 2-2. Big game 5 here, and we go up 3-2, hopping into Simcast. Game 6 in Washington. We win this. We win our second in 3 years. Loses, going to a game 7. Here we are at halftime, have a little bit of a lead. Kind of a closer game than you'd like here into the fourth quarter. 5-point lead. We may be hopping in here to clutch this one out. 2 minutes, 51 seconds left. Let's see how good this squad is that we have assembled. I'm realizing there's no audio here, and there's pretty much nothing I can do about that. So, oh, look at Sean Bradley with this steal. And John Stockton running the other way. Who's going to be running in transition? It's the mailman, Karl Malone, as we get the dunk. 96 to 89. Yeah, the last time that my audio bugged out, I had to completely restart the computer and it was a 6-hour process. So I'm just going to say that this is the way that God intended. And we're going to be listening and winning the NBA champions without any audio. Sorry, my apologies. I mean, it's just so funny. They have these open threes, but like, they're not gonna take it. Purvis Ellison operating out of the low block, nothing going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 90s basketball was hideous to watch. Sean Bradley grabs the rebound, going the other way. John Stockton with the crossover. John Stockton with the layup. John Stockton, nope. That's Karl Malone with the cut, and he throws it down. 98 to 90. We're going to be walking away champions. And because there's no audio, I'll just simcast this real quick. And there you have it. The Utah Jazz have officially won the NBA championship twice now in this rebuild. Led by Karl Malone, led by John Stockton, but Grant Hill was essential. Don't forget the contributions of Jeff Malone. Head coach Jerry Sloan was incredible for that first run. But the Utah Jazz bring the Larry O'Brien trophy back to Utah. Or to Utah, and then back to Utah. What an incredible season. I don't know what to do with the fact that the audio is broken. Maybe we can put it... You know what? We'll use the old audio that's still being used by 2K in like 5 games in a row editions. And we'll just say this is the official audio that's used. Look at the crowd. Look at the Washington fans. Cheer us on. I forgot these cutscenes are broken too. What an incredible game. These people are frozen with their hands up. They're in shock. And here is Commissioner David Stern handing the trophy to Karl Malone. Likely the NBA Finals MVP as well. What a run. What a ride for this Utah squad. We are proud. We are dreamers. We are believers. The crowd's going wild. Can you hear it? Oh, they don't do the NBA Finals MVP trophy. Good stuff. Karl Malone wins NBA Finals MVP, and that is going to do it for this one. I know it wasn't a traditional rebuild. We have 290 plus 95 overalls on our team already, but thank you so much for watching. Glenn Rice was great for us. Grant Hill going to be like a 99 overall in a couple seasons. The future is bright for Utah. That's going to do it for this one. Sorry the audio was broken, and I'll catch you in the next one.